Of all the hoaxes ever filmed or videotaped, none has captured the public's imagination like the alien autopsy footage. When it was released by a British businessman in 1995, it made front-page headlines in newspapers throughout the world. Respected pathologists and top special effects experts were initially baffled by this realistic dissection of an alleged extraterrestrial. Viewers in dozens of countries have seen these shocking images of a 17-minute autopsy itself, as well as approximately 2 minutes of what was purportedly the wreckage from the alien spacecraft, which many claim crashed in Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. But the darkly lit footage you are seeing here has never been shown on national television. Although the alien autopsies film's promoters in England claimed it showed doctors at the Roswell crash scene examining the alien prior to the full autopsy, its poor quality made it difficult to broadcast. Until now. And in it lies the key to what can now be conclusively said is a hoax of monumental proportions. In this exclusive enhancement produced by the same technology that NASA uses to sharpen images from space, telltale signs of the hoax have been revealed. Look here. The supposed doctors' faces can now clearly be seen. Who are they? After an exhaustive investigation, one has been positively identified. He's no doctor. He's never been to Roswell, and he wasn't filmed in 1947, but videotaped in 1994.
It's very clear. It's amazing what NASA technologies can do. I mean, I'm just absolutely astounded. I mean, I've been revealed, you know. What can I say? It's there, you can see for yourselves. I have been revealed.
Elliot Willis is a former technician at a British production company called AK Music. He says in this world-exclusive interview that Ray Santilli, the Englishman who promoted all the footage, hired the AK group to hoax the crash scene examination footage months before he released the full alien autopsy video in 1995. Santilli's instructions? Shoot what he could claim was an alien autopsy performed in a makeshift tent, erected right after the UFO crash in 1947.
We were contracted by Ray Santilli to create the so-called tent footage, which comprised of creating the actual alien head, which I did myself in a day. I purchased a polystyrene wig head. I then thinned down the face with a file and the nose to make it more gaunt looking, and applied a thin layer of latex to simulate skin texture.
Willis says that while he was initially stumped as to how to fabricate the eyes for the creature being autopsied in the tent footage, his mother came up with a simple yet effective solution.
My mum stepped in and said, "Hey, why don't you get an orange segment?" I said, "An orange segment? What are you talking about?" She's like, "Well, just listen to me. If you cut it into 4 and then you bend it, you then get that ellipse shape." So I did that, cut it to size, then tacked it in with small dressmaking pins, then covered it in black gloss paint.
After Willis had constructed the alien head, he says Santilli pushed the production company to shoot the hoax autopsy as soon as possible.
I believe Ray Santilli required the footage from us so urgently because he had prior promised people in the media and he had to provide it.
Santilli had spread the word that he had obtained a top-secret military film showing a dead alien being autopsied at Roswell. Willis says that since it didn't exist, Santilli had to create it.
One of the directors, Andy, knew someone who had a farm, who had a really dark, kind of dingy kind of back room that we could use.
We asked Willis to explain how the footage was hoaxed.
Here you got a strange lump. That's actually Andy. That's the son of one of the bosses for AK Music. He's got his head like that, so we could place the actual polystyrene head, because it was not a mask. It was placed where his head should have been, and then the sheets were brought up to cover it.
Willis identified the actor on the left side of the screen as a local butcher named Ian.
There's a white sheet over the body and a tearing it with a plastic bag. We're putting out sheep intestines and guts and bits, stuff like that. We're cutting out with scalpels and stuff.
According to Willis, the figure moving in the front left corner of the frame is supposed to be a nervous American president who flew to the scene. In reality, the actor is the man who owned the barn where the footage was staged. To help make it look authentic, Willis was put in charge of aging the footage, and then he added one final touch: film scratches.
I've got the animation department to create me a loop of scratches. You can see those coming in. You see those? So we ran it over the top.
Yet despite all of Willis's efforts to create a believable alien autopsy tent scene, Santilli was apparently unsatisfied.
In 1994, we actually finished the tent footage, and it was ready and delivered to Ray Santilli. And then he actually phoned in and said, you know, this is wrong, that's wrong, we need to change this, we need to make it darker, we need to make it lighter.
By the summer of 1995, the press began reporting that Santilli had allegedly uncovered both the alien autopsy tent footage and possibly a more elaborate video showing a full alien dissection in a brightly lit medical facility. Right away, Willis pieced together the obvious connections.
When I actually heard the news reports, I mean, the press went mad. They were reporting alien autopsy footage found, and when Ray Santilli's name was connected to it, I realised that this was part of a big package, that he had used our tent footage originally to get the story going, and he promoted the alien autopsy footage after that once he had got everyone's interest.
But Willis reveals that the more elaborate and ultimately more widely publicized autopsy of an alien was also a hoax, and that Santilli originally wanted AK Music to produce that as well.
After we made the tent footage for Ray Santilli, he said he wanted to do it again in a white room, and he wanted to make it more elaborate. He wanted you to be able to see the bodies shot from down, you know, looking down on the bodies as they're cut open. We made inquiries about having the actual bodies made, but we just could not provide what he wanted in the time span. And so he went elsewhere.
So where did Santilli go to have the considerably more graphic alien autopsy footage created? Bruce Barlow, a business associate of AK, who learned of AK's involvement in Santilli's hoax directly from one of its owners, thinks he has the answer.
The rumor is that the more elaborate footage came from Germany. That is what's generally believed now.
These rumors of a German connection may stem from the fact that Santilli has stated publicly that a German investor funded the purchase of all of his alien autopsy material. And Willis has even seen the name of this investor on the credits for some of Santilli's products made at AK Music.
It wouldn't surprise me if the German investor was Volker Spielberg, because I have worked on other projects for Ray Santilli, and in the credits I've been asked to put Volker Spielberg's name. So, you know, German investor speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Regardless of where the full alien autopsy footage was made, it is now clear to many medical experts who have studied these graphic scenes for close to 3 years that the individuals seemingly wearing contamination-proof suits are not surgeons or doctors at all.
As I observe these people, they're clearly not medically trained people. They're certainly not surgeons. They're probably not pathologists. I believe they're actors. And in fact, they are not even well-trained or coached actors.
Continued investigations into who could have directed these actors led to a little-known filmmaker named Nacho Cerda. His short, gory Spanish film called Aftermath, which realistically depicts human autopsies, has chilling similarities to alien autopsy in both style and feel, and also predates it by more than a year.
Have nothing to do with this. And of course, again, if I was to do something with this, I would immediately reveal it, you know, because if I'm trying to get noticed by my skills, I would, you know, tell publicly that I was the the guy behind this.
Eventually, the true filmmaker of the more elaborate alien autopsy footage will be exposed. And it may turn out, like Elliot Willis, that he or she is also the victim of the man responsible for this entire grandiose hoax.
When I realised that the footage we were making for Ray Santilli was going to be used as a real Alien Autopsy had a mixture of feelings. There are people who believe and there are people who want to believe in this world, and they're the people I feel for because they search for evidence and they look high and low for it, and for someone to come and dangle this in front of them, look what I've got, real footage, aliens, Autopsy, the lot, you know, when actually it was a hoax. It wasn't a very nice thing to do, was it really?